Hey everybody, we're live. How's everybody doing? It's a Thursday, January 22nd. It's about noontime. I don't know where you are, what part of the country. If you're on the East Coast, people talk about is snow. In Baltimore, they're talking about 2 feet or 3 feet of snow, which I'm sure is not going to happen. I got to get a haircut next week and a shave, so I better not happen. Anyway, whatever. Can't worry about the weather. When I heard the report, I thought maybe we're opening an outpatient center in Greenland or something. You know, you never know. You may need some new outpatient centers over there, but they have pretty good health care. Denmark's really good. Great country, great country. Greenland's a great country. Big piece of ice. Anyway, we're talking about cystic liver lesions. We're not talking about ice. We're not talking about Davos. Yes, I was not in Davos. I don't know why they don't invite me. I need to go to Davos. Maybe next year I'll speak to some friends. Maybe they'll let me tag along on their plane. Anyway, cystic liver lesions. Let me think about what I think of. Cystic liver lesion. The most common cystic liver lesion is a simple cyst, right? Small, single, multiple. They can be large. They can cause mass effect and cause symptoms because they get really large. Sometimes they're resected, sometimes they're drained, but it's plain cystic lesion, a simple cyst of the liver, is always benign. So that's one category. Second category is cystic lesions that are inflammatory. The classic is a cystic lesion with multiple daughter cysts, high data disease. It can be rim enhancement, but multiple cysts in the lesion, sometimes a cyst rupture. Very classic, usually endemic certain parts of the world, of course, though we've seen them in Baltimore, but usually it's from travel. You also could talk about cystic abscesses. We can see that typically with like amoebic abscess often is cystic. Other lesions that are abscesses, E. coli, post-op abscesses, they're often cystic, but there's a thick rim, and that's how we make the diagnosis and separate, say, a liver abscess from a tumor, right? That can be very helpful. So that's when we talk about infection. So that's a good thing to think about. I could throw an infarction, but those are typically wedge shape. Infarcts can become cystic, but again, usually it keeps that triangular shape, so I think it makes it easier for us. And then you get into cystic tumors. It could be METs. Metastatic melanoma is a great one that's cystic. Neuroendocrine tumors can be cystic, but they're vascular. So we look at the thick wall, right? Is a wall thickened? That's often something you'll see in a malignancy, though you can see it in an infection as well. We talk about biliary cystadenomas, cystadenocarcinomas, that now typically called mucinous tumors of the liver. They typically have septations. Remember, these mucinous lesions are always called cystadenoma, cystadenocarcinoma, look very much like mucinous cystic neoplasms of the pancreas, whereas a cystic lesion, that ovarian stroma, those septations, a really nice looking case. So that's another category to think about. We could think about things like related to the gallbladder abscess, okay. Duplication of the gallbladder, exceedingly rare. High drops of the gallbladder, confusing you with what looks like a liver lesion, but it's really a gallbladder lesion. So those are things that are all going to be possibilities. If you're evaluating a cystic liver lesion, recommend dual phase CT, arterial and venous. Look for the rim, look for enhancement, look for septations, look for nodularity. Look at the rest of the scan. Again, you want to make sure you're not dealing with metastatic melanoma. Sarcoidosis can give cystic kind of lesions, low density, but when I see sarcoid in the liver, I typically will see sarcoid also in the spleen, multi-organ involvement. So that can be very helpful there as well. I think those are the big things that I'm thinking about. So I think those are very, very important. It's a good differential diagnosis. We're thinking maybe of putting an article together about it, but there have been articles on cystic liver lesions that are in the literature that are really worthwhile reading. But again, it's something we deal with all the time. I've added a few recent cases in the CTisus teaching file in the liver, which has nice cystic lesions. And I am preparing a talk, so that will be helpful as well. So those are really my main things. I hope everybody is doing well. Just a few things on CTisus. We've added a couple thousand new teaching file cases in the website. We're finishing up our update to CTisus iQuiz, which won the Mini last year. These are all the cases from July 2025 through December 2025, 6 months, 10 cases a month, 60 cases. But I worked really hard doing pearls, so it's about 600 pearls, so it's really, really well done. We're also looking at that with AI, seeing if we can do better. So that'll be really, really kind of interesting, I think. Um, what else are we doing? I'm writing a bunch of stuff. We're finishing this really good stuff on AI with early detection of pancreatic cancer, working very closely with our friends at Microsoft. I think we really, really, really are making progress. So that's all very exciting. I got some other exciting news about some of the stuff, but I'll when it's official announced, I'll be able to tell you. But oh, so Lily wrote, "Where are you watching from?" I'm in my office, but I'm not going to answer that. She knows that. Maria Sideropoulos from Greece and Alexandros from Cyprus. So we're in that part of the world. I did see President Trump logging on from Davos, but I think he didn't like my Greenland joke. So, but anyway, and Claudia from Mexico and Satvir from India. Lily has published, and we've published, and we're publishing again where our users come from, and about 2/3 of them are outside the U.S. The number one country in terms of numbers is from India. So usually, India and the U.S. are usually 1-2, 2-1, depending how you look at it. Colombia, High Vic. So it's interesting. This is the thing about education on the web, right? We're all in different time zones. A lot of my faculty, fellows, whatever, residents, techs can't watch it now because they're reading films. And I'll be going back reading cases in a moment. But, it just works out so well that Peter from the Congo, Colombia, India, Mexico, Cyprus, and Greece, you probably couldn't put all of those on a map. But we do appreciate where everybody is from, and we do always take it as an honor that you listen to and read what we do. And it's sharing the knowledge and information that is the purpose of CTisus. So with that, I'll wish everybody a great day and see you soon.